What is happening, you sexy shits? My name is Jack Southall, and I'm here, of course, for the Raw review. Let's just move over here. Let's adjust the beanie. This is the June 15th, 2015 episode of Monday Night Raw, taking place in Cleveland, Ohio. And we opened up the show with a Dusty Rhodes tribute. They showed the one from last night's Money in the Bank. Very, very classy, once again, for them to pay tribute to Dusty Rhodes. And hopefully we can put this all behind us. We can move forward, because I think that's what Dusty would want us to do. We've paid our respects to him, and he will always be remembered. So, thank you, Dusty. We will remember you. Anyway, so we open up the show with Seth Rollins walking out like a little dickhead. He's coming... Sorry. He's coming out there and he's saying, "Welcome to Monday Night Rollins," and he says, "Oh, I'd like to thank everyone that helped me win this title last night. I'd like to thank Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. Who's that other guy? Oh, yep, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, yep, definitely. He did a great job. And last but not least, Seth Rollins. Oh, not forgetting the Shockmaster." Okay, he didn't say anything about the Shockmaster, which I was a little bit disappointed about. But anyway, he said that only one man beat Dean Ambrose last night, and he didn't need J&J or Dumb and Dumber. He didn't need the Devil's Favorite Dinosaur, Kane, and he didn't need Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. He says that this clown, he said that this town will never get this close to a championship. That Johnny Idiot Face, which is, he's like a football player, whatever, said in the crowd will never bring them a title, nor will LeBron James. The crowd's pissed off about this, so he's getting some good heat. Dean Ambrose comes out, the crowd's loving him. He is limping to the ring, he's selling the attack from last night, which is very, very good, and they have a bit of a brawl, shenanigans happen all over the place. Then Ambrose stares at him from the ring. Rollins just pisses off. Ambrose then grabs a chair, throws it in the ring, and then he says the title might have been literally slipped from his fingers last night. But he said he's going to sit in the ring until Rollins comes back. So he's just sitting in the ring and he's just waiting for Rollins to come out. And then we get to backstage with the big-nosed bitch, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. They're in the office, Rollins walks in, and they said, "Oh, are you going to do something about Ambrose?" And he's like, yeah, we got it all figured out. But they keep talking. He said when Rollins was out there that he didn't need him. And he said, "Are you calling Triple H a liar?" Or, no, his wife a liar, and all that stuff, and that they're going to pick out Seth Rollins' opponent for Battleground to defend his WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And that, so all that stuff. And then they decided to pick the new Money in the Bank winner, Sheamus. Now, I know he's starring in the new Ninja Turtles movie that's going to come out next year, apparently, so this might be a little bit of a Batista situation, but Guardians of the Galaxy was actually a really good movie, and Ninja Turtles, not so much. Probably because it's Michael Bay, because he's a dickhead. But we're not here to talk about movies, we're here to talk about wrestling. So, Dean Ambrose and Sheamus had a bit of a match, I guess. How this match ended up ending, Sheamus quickly kicks Ambrose in his injured knee for hitting the high knee lift. Sheamus hits the ropes, Ambrose rebound. He does that rebound, clothesline thingy. Ambrose is getting ready for the dirty deeds. But Sheamus gets out, grabs his briefcase, and he's gonna piss off. But then Randy Orton comes out. Sheamus turns and looks at him. Ambrose then throws Sheamus into the ring, avoids a bro kick, and then gives him a roll-up pin for the victory. Yeah, okay match. Nothing important happened except with Orton. But then Orton gets in the ring. He attacks Sheamus. Sheamus tries to piss off. Orton grabs in, unloads some uppercuts. They start brawling. Orton goes for the RKO, but Sheamus pushes him. He runs off like a little bitch and holds the championship. So, yeah, Sheamus versus Orton's definitely going to happen at Battleground. you know, they could be okay, but, you know, when you have such a tough kind of fighter like Sheamus and a very athletic guy like Orton, it's just boring seeing those two wrestle. That's just it, really. Anyway, Seth Rollins gets backstage. He's looking around for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He then runs into J&J, and they talk shit for a little bit, and that's pretty much that whole segment, really, and that they know who he's going to pick, and all that. So, then we get a Dusty Rhodes segment about him beating Harley Race for the NWA Championship back in 1979, and, you know, it was really great moment for Dusty. Anyway, we get to R-Truth. Oh, boy. And, God, this was funny. He comes out in this, you know, pretty dodgy king suit. He's got a knockoff crown, and he's got a plunger and whatever, and he's doing this shit, and, oh, it's great stuff. And then he goes on commentary. King Barrett comes out, and then JBL tells him, dude, you know you're wrestling in this match. And R-Truth's like, wait, what? I'm wrestling? And it's so like they did last week where R-Truth came out and he thought he was in the ladder match. And so R-Truth's like, oh, okay, I'm in the ring. Bell rings. Barrett takes him down immediately with his big boot, punches him, sets up for the Royal Bullhammer. R-Truth then rolls him up for the win. So, yeah, bullshit match there. You know, it didn't really matter, to be honest. R-Truth got a victory. Then Barrett hit the Bullhammer before ripping up R-Truth's little fake crown. And Barrett says this ain't a joke, and he's only right to call himself the king by winning the tournament. His crown's prestigious, blah, blah, blah. King Barrett's not really going to go anywhere, in my opinion. Neither is R-Truth. I think he's there for, like, comedy relief now. Probably not to a Santino level, but, you know, a comedy relief character that's actually funny. And then we get MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, and you got a bunch of jobbers and a bunch of diva jobbers talking. And then Paige walks up and says to all the divas, oh, we've got to have a team meeting, come on guys. And everyone's like, oh, alright. And Kevin Owens comes out next, and he cuts a really good promo. John Cena's not here, he's still selling the injury from last night. And that Owens says that they want someone to blame that, they should look no further than Cena, and that he's not denying he played a part in what happened to him, but he did powerbomb him on the edge of the apron, but it was Cena's fault, and that as they shook hands, Cena said the most disrespectful thing to him, looked at him and said he belongs in the ring in front of these people, and no one's just like, fuck off, Cena, I belonged here the second I got here, and he doesn't want Cena to endorse him, and that people say that he's a sore loser, but says Cena is a bad winner, and that he could have walked back like a gracious winner, but he stood there and insisted he shake his hand. That was not a gesture of respect, and that was Cena hogging the spotlight because he always wants to be a hero. And then Kevin Owens does an NXT Open Challenge, pretty much. And he says, anyone just come out. Dolph Ziggler comes out. He has a smooch with Lana. He comes into the ring, and that Ziggler says that Owens just made him tonight, and that he will never defend Cena. But Owens had a lot of guts standing in the ring talking about sacrifice, and that Ziggler had scratched and clawed his way to get to the top. And saying like this city has scratched and clawed for the chance at a championship, so it'll be damned if he's not getting one right now. And then this leads to, and that Lillian Garcia says that this match is for the NXT title, but Owens is like, oh, calm down, Blondie. So, and that is that Owens said he issued an open challenge, but he never said it was for the NXT championship. And if Ziggler wants to face him, it'll be a non-title match. So, yeah, they have a non-title match. Very good showing between these two. This was easily the best match on this show. How this match ended, of course, Owen sent him into the ropes, goes for a pop-up powerbomb. Ziggler gets out, hits the zigzag, and this takes him a few moments before he just covered him. Crowd is loving this match. Ziggler then gets up, Owens comes out, kick to the knee, followed by a super kick. Owens then sends him into a rope, hits the pop-up powerbomb, and gets the win at that. And so he gets out of the ring and does the "You Can't See Me" sign to a girl wearing a Cena shirt, which I thought was pretty funny. Then Paige is practically talking to all of the heel divas and the jobber divas and saying that the Bellas have been pushing us down and we gotta rise up and stop them pretty much. But then the Bella twins come in and they say, oh, we're so sorry, and that Nikki says, ever since she held Stephanie McMahon win at SummerSlam, and she said, oh, sorry, Brie, which pissed me off because you practically made Stephanie McMahon win because you wanted your sister Brie to suffer, and now Brie's like, oh, don't worry, it's okay, it's okay. She would still be pretty bitter about that. If my brother attacked me, pretty much, like, to make sure I lose something, I'd be fucking furious at him, and I'd hold a little bit of a grudge about him for, like, the rest of my life, but, you know, it is what it is. And they say it's a free country, if you want to side with Paige, go at it, and then all the divas slowly piss off, but Naomi and Tamina, like, linger on for a minute, and they're like, and they're staring down, so maybe Naomi can still have a chance for the Divas Championship, but this is definitely Nikki versus Paige. I'm just waiting for the day that Nikki Bella loses that championship. I don't want her to outrun AJ Lee. Please don't make her outrun AJ Lee. Anyway, we get Randy Orton versus Kane in an I don't give a fuck match. Sheamus came in to attack him. Kane uppercutted him. He stumbled into a bro kick. Kane then beat him. Sheamus got in the ring, held up his Money in the Bank briefcase. You know, I really do not care much for this Orton-Sheamus feud. It's probably going to be pretty boring. They could have a okay match at Battleground, but right now it's looking pretty, not too good. Anyway, we get, Kane walking backstage. Seth Rollins walks up. Rollins congratulates him on his victory and says he'll be in a better mood than last night. Then Rollins reminds Kane that he lost while he beat Ambrose all by himself. Like he's just being a dick the entire night. Is that Kane might not have the guts to admit it, but he was his biggest doubter and all that stuff. And they talk a bit of shit. And he gets pretty personal and says no one can do it on their own. And that Rollins says Kane won't understand because he's always had something holding his hand, like Paul Bearer and Undertaker. Kane then, like, gets him up against the wall. He's pissed off. And he says, don't you ever talk about family like that. And then lets him go and all that. So then, we get another Dusty Rhodes bit, which is a highlight of his Hall of Fame induction speech. And then we get, Big Show versus The Miz. That sounds fun. Ryback's on commentary. There was one bit where Big Show threw The Miz into Ryback, and then Ryback's like, oh, I just got Miz all over me. So, yeah, very inside joke there, implying that he got jizz all over. You know what it means. Miz won by countout. That's the way to go. No, Big Show. Yeah, whatever. Ryback gets in the ring, hits meat hook clothesline. Big Show rolls out. Miz is celebrating his win, but then Ryback taunts both of them with the IC title. And then we get to another one of my favourite segments of the night, which is Roman Reigns comes out and he says that he's not happy that he lost the Money in the Bank ladder match and that Bray Wyatt cost him. And then Bray Wyatt comes up and pretty much does this typical rambling, like, oh, I speak the truth, you speak lies, Roman, and, you know, all that stuff. And I thought, oh, here we go, another typical Bray Wyatt promo. And he's still a great promoist. But then he hooked me in the last bit. And they said, you're the yin to my yang, and they balanced out each other, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But this is when it gets good. He holds a picture up of his daughter, and that Father's Day is right around the corner, and then he starts singing, I'm a little teapot short and spout, and I think this can get really, really good if they bring in his daughter. Like, that can get really, really personal. I can definitely see this going into SummerSlam, into a big match there. This could be probably, if they book this very correctly, it could be one of the darkest and, most, weird, I don't know, but definitely one of the most darkest and personal feuds we've seen in a long, long time if they do it correctly. Roman Reigns can get fucking furious, and Bray Wyatt will do something to the kid, kidnap the kid, or something like that. God, could you imagine if they actually did that? Ugh, that'd be crazy. If he actually kidnapped him, that'd be fucked. But anyway, we get Paige versus the Bella Twins in a handicap match. This was... it wasn't that good. Nikki, the Bellas won. You know what pissed me off about the Bella Twins? I really have no problem with them. Nikki and Brie are fucking hot. But what pissed me off? They are heels. They're supposed to be bad guys. Yet, they're high-fiving people in the crowd. Just know. When you are a heel, you want to avoid the crowd. You think, oh, look at all this scum. Look at all these peasants coming to see me. I want to go on their space, Like that. You look at these fans as peasants, and you look above them. So giving them high fives, not good. Anyway, we get Machine Gun Kelly. No one gives a fuck. He dedicates this to Cena. Anyway, but I'm like, Channel Surfer. Why do they even do concerts on Raw anyway? No one gives a shit. And it's always crap artists everywhere. Anyway, it's like Wiz Khalifa. It's always rappers or someone just really shitty. But that's just my personal musical taste. If you like MGK, I don't give a shit. Cool. Just cool. Anyway, Kevin Owens comes out to applaud him. And that's when I'm like, oh, damn. But then he slowly claps. And MGK is like, what are you doing, bro? I'm a rapper. I'm tough. I'm gonna push you. Kevin's like, bitch, no way. Pushes him. MGK, Machine Gun Kelly stumbles to the back, which I thought was funny as shit. And then Kevin Owens gets him and power bombs him off the fucking stage. Even though there was really good padding underneath it, which kind of ruined it. But who gives a shit, man? I have been waiting for the day someone interferes in a concert and just destroys the singer. So props to MGK for taking a bump, man. Like, I don't care if it was really padded. He took a bump. It's fucking awesome. If only Kevin Owens debuted earlier and powerbombed those two whores, Kathy Lee and Hoda from the Today Show, and just, snap their necks or something. I don't know. Especially, maybe not Hoda, but Kathy Lee. Just snap her fucking neck, because I hate that bitch. We see a clip for Terminator Genesis. Cool. Then we get the New Day are in the ring, and they're pamping up the New Day sucks and all that. Then we get New Day versus Neville and the brand new tag team champions, the Primetime Players. I can see why people would say that they got the title a bit too early. I reckon have a couple of matches in order for them to actually get the titles, but whatever. How this match ended, Kofi Kingston got tagged in, knocks Young out of the ring, Kingston goes in for... Kingston, there we go. Goes for an inverted DDT, Neville gets out, Young gets tagged in, hits the gut check on Kingston, Neville tagged in, he hits the red arrow, and they win the match. What have we got up next? So, Dean Ambrose is playing darts with Seth Rollins on the board, which was good, cool. Ambrose sees Kane in the locker room, and he shows everything in WWE runs smoothly. Ambrose laughs at him, and he's picturing Kane as World Heavyweight Champion, and that he thinks he's funny, and that Kane says, "Oh, I've won the title, unlike you." And Ambrose is like, "What happened to you, Kane? You used to be cool and badass, and at the end of the day, you're just the authority's lapdog." And Ambrose says, "This is why I do it, because I love it and all that." And so this is probably going to lead to an Ambrose versus Kane match. at Battleground. Ambrose is probably going to be the highlight of that entire feud, and Kane is just going to be there. But then how this show ends is Seth Rollins comes out with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They apologize about the MGK incident. We all loved it, let's be honest. And Seth Rollins' music hit, he's smiling, and that it doesn't matter who his next opponent is, that there's nobody on the roster that's capable of taking him on. And Triple H says that he might beat and embarrass him. A lot of people doubted him, he won the title, and blah, 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 blah. And so they said, you have to decide if the investment will pay off or it's just sunk coal. If you want to know what you have with a lump of coal, stick it under immense pressure. That pressure does one of two things. Either turns to dust or turns you into a diamond. And says, here's your opponent. It is Brock Lesnar. Yes! Brock comes out. I kind of knew it was going to be him because the shows he was going to be on the leaks, but it didn't matter. It was still awesome. Brock comes out, Heyman's there, which makes it even better, and everyone loses their shit. He's wearing a Suplex City t-shirt, which I want to get. It's awesome. And just Seth Rollins is in the ring like, son of a bitch, because flashbacks of WrestleMania is just coming back to him, and how Lesnar lost his title to Rollins. So this is his rematch clause, pretty much. And Rollins is like, screw this, runs out of the ring, backs out, and then Lesnar's just staring him down, and it's official. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Battleground shaping up to be a really cool pay-per-view. You got the Lesnar-Rollins match, Cena and Owens again, Ambrose and Kane, Sheamus, and but, you know, Rollins and Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt could be awesome. But yeah, I quite enjoyed this show tonight. There was a lot of things to talk about. Yeah, R-Truth was great. This was a pretty good Raw overall. I really enjoyed it. Lots of talkable stuff happened. So this Raw definitely gets a thumbs up from me. And yeah, go check this Raw out. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap this video up here because this went way too long than expected. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a big fat fucking like if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw. And make sure to hit that subscribe button. I need to know where it is. I go on YouTube every time, and when I film a video, I forget. But yeah, wherever the subscribe button is, click on it. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at JackmanLol31 for just whatever bullshit I do throughout the day. And I'll see you guys next time for whatever hell I do. Probably Wednesday wrestling wrap up, or I do something else. See you guys later, and I'm out in 3, 2, 1.